All right, well, let's travel all the way back to 1877. The Great Railroad Strike is taking place. The first telephone line is installed between Boston and Massachusetts. And right here in Colorado, a huge discovery, a new dinosaur called a Stegosaurus. Well, Danny is live at the site of the discovery right now. Danny, it may have been about 148 years ago, but you can celebrate the discovery now. What's going on out there?
Yeah, Claudia, that's right. Hey, we're stepping back in time, and that is why we love it here in Morrison. And we are here at the Morrison Natural History Museum with our favorite Marianne Bunnell. And Marianne, you are the education coordinator.
Yes, yes.
It take me a minute to think about it. But I love it so much. This is something that you're so passionate about. We've talked to you about dinos before. So being able to see you in this role, we're so excited. So thank you for being here.
Thank you for coming to see us.
Yes, and thank you so much for bringing your amazing paleo pup Pedro with you
paleo pup Pedro. Yes.
I love it. Oh my gosh. Okay, so let's jump right in here. What is the connection between the Stegosaurus and Morrison?
It's great. So 146 million years ago, we know that Stegosaurus was traipsing around right here in Morrison. And the way we know is the remains are found in the Morrison Formation, which is the rock layer that is named after the town of Morrison.
Wow.
So there's so many connections between Stegosaurus and the town of Morrison.
So wonderful. And obviously this is so exciting to be a part of such an incredible history. I know that you totally nerd out on this kind of stuff, which is so great. So how was the Stego discovered?
So probably indigenous persons saw the bones that were sticking out of the rock, but the very first sort of scientific discovery of Stegosaurus was in 1876, probably Arthur Lakes, who was a professor at Jarvis School, which was School of Mines at that time, was out kind of tooling around with his buddy, and they came across these giant long-necked dinosaur bones that led them to do a lot of quarry work, and through that quarry work they came across the very first Stegosaurus that was collected and described by science.
That is incredible.
So Colorado has dibs on very first Stegosaurus.
I love that so much. That's so cool. And you have some of that evidence right here in the
We
museum.
do,
correct?
yes. If you come to the Morrison Natural History Museum, all the bones were rail carted, so shipped to Yale to be identified. But we do have on loan from Yale several specimens from the very first Stegosaurus. So here at our museum you can see part of the tail, you can see a chevron from the tail, you can see part of one of the plates, as well as part of one of the limb bones. So it's really neat. And we've got even specimens that are not on display that you can see on special occasions. So this is part of a Stegosaurus tail from Morrison that's called the chevron. Oh my gosh. And it goes underneath the tail, and it's for muscle attachment, so they can have that really strong tail to help defend themselves.
That's incredible. That is so cool. And this is the kind of stuff, again, that you get excited about.
I know.
Because you are touching and seeing real evidence of these incredible creatures right here.
Yes.
Speaking of, can we talk about what we're sitting in front of?
Yes, speaking of evidence, this is, so what's really great about Morrison, Colorado is we have the bones, the fossil bones, but we also have fossil traces. And this is probably the best rear and front paw print on Earth of a Stegosaurus. They have a distinctive rear foot that has square toes, really short square toes. And then this is probably the best thumbprint from a Stegosaurus in the world. So this was recognized by Dr. Bacher in the early 2000s, right on Dinosaur Ridge, right where the tomb of the Stegosaurus was.
Unbelievable. And again, it just makes you feel so small, doesn't it?
It does.
Such a small piece of this world.
But also when you learn to recognize something like this, the whole landscape of Colorado becomes this canvas on which, can I find a dinosaur track?
Right.
You know, so it's this also sense of adventure.
Definitely. It just makes you so excited to get out and start exploring more. I love this so much. Okay, well, before I let you go, is this all how Colorado, or the Stegosaurus became Colorado state fossil?
Oh my goodness, it's such a great story. So some fourth graders from Adams County in the 80s wanted to understand how to propose legislation. So they proposed, their teacher proposed with them, let's make Stegosaurus Colorado state fossil. Oh my God. It passed in the Senate. Congress was like, we don't have time, you know, we're too busy. So Governor Lamb was like, enough, we're gonna go ahead and just approve this by executive order. So the students, it took 2 years, but the students got the Stegosaurus to be named Colorado state fossil.
Oh my goodness, good job, students, and they made their own legacy here in Colorado history, which is so awesome.
They did.
Marianne, thank you so much. This is so incredible. I don't want you to go anywhere. We're going to keep talking. We're going to talk some baby Stegosaurus too. And Pedro, what do you think?
Tater's about the size of a hatchling stegosaurus.
There you
so
go.
He can relate.
Right there. I love it so much. Well, thank you guys again. And guys, don't go anywhere at home because we're, again, going to be talking all about these incredible Stegosaurus, plus how you can celebrate Stegosaurus Day this weekend right here in Morrison. Welcome back, everybody. Okay, we are here live at the Morrison Natural History Museum previewing Stegosaurus Day here in Colorado. It's coming up on Saturday, and we're so excited to talk about the Stegosaurus. I think it's one of the coolest dinosaurs, and we're here with Marianne to talk all about it.
Sure.
Marianne, thank you so much. This is so cool.
It's very exciting to have you here.
Oh my gosh! And Pedro, great
course,
job
of course.
on your little teaser earlier, buddy. He's very well spoken.
He is. He's got a good voice.
Okay, let's talk about Stegosaurus. I want to talk about the babies because you guys have some amazing finds right here in the museum that we can't see anywhere else.
Yes. So moving forward from the first discovery of Stegosaurus in 1877, one of our paleontologists noticed in some rocks from the same location where the bones were found evidence of baby Stegosaurus, which there are no nests, there are no eggs, we don't know, but what we do know is there are tracks here.
Wow.
From not only a small infant, but also a hatchling.
Oh my gosh, that is incredible. And obviously this evidence is, we can see it right here in the museum, which is so amazing. I want to talk about some of these scale models that we have here because you have a good representation of exactly how big they are. So these are the babies, right?
So every time we talk about the infant Stegosaurus track, which this one over here is the smallest known in the world right now.
Wow.
I always say, I have a dog, he's 7.5 pounds. We, based on the size of that track, we estimate that the size of a hatchling Stegosaurus was 6 pounds.
Wow.
And so it's about the size of a Chihuahua.
About the size of a Pedro.
And I think people find that relatable and also super cute.
Yeah,
so
I agree.
So it gives us this evidence of not just adult Stegosaurus here in Morrison 146 million years ago, but now we understand the ecology better, and we can say this was also a rookery where babies were accompanying parents or walking around in the same area parents are walking around in, because there's evidence of the tracks with the parents too.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to talk about the dinosaur in the room, if you will.
Yes.
So our stego models here, we can tell their heads are really small.
Yes.
So tell me about the brain and how that works, because this big body and that small head, that's kind of an interesting combo.
Right. Well, I think one of the things we want to be careful of when we're talking about brain power is you don't always want to compare mammals to other animals. So it's not apples to apples.
Yes.
And in the case of a stegosaur noggin,
Yes.
they have a brain that's adequately sized for the job at hand.
Great.
And so they have, their brain is about the size of your thumb.
Wow.
And I mean, for real, about the size of the thumb, but that brain was very rich in understanding its environment.
Amazing.
And so stegosaur needs to be able to smell, needs to have good vision, needs to have good instincts, but it doesn't need to do high math or taxes or anything like that. So when we talk about dinosaur brains, which we talk about a lot here at this museum, we talk about how they're meant to process what dinosaurs need to process.
Wow, that is incredible. And obviously, I mean, the evidence here is what makes this so amazing, and for people to be able to come and see it. Now, that's what I want to talk to you about next, because people can come see you guys, but this weekend is really the weekend to come and enjoy, right?
Yes, this is a very special weekend. It's Stegosaurus Day for us, so this is our big day to celebrate what makes, one of the many things that makes the Morrison Formation so special. Yes. And we're going to have booths set up. We'll have our partners here from Mines Museum, Golden History Museum, Dinosaur Ridge, and you can enjoy the museum in stations. We're going to have specimens from our collection that are out with our curator, and you'll be able to talk with our curator. So a lot of things you don't normally get to see on one of our tours.
That is incredible. Marianne, why do you get so excited about dinosaurs in general, but about Stegosaurus too?
I just got the chills, because I for real, I feel like as a person who grew up here, it has changed the way I look at the landscape. Yes. So I now hike with this sense of permanence of this landscape that I'm on has stories to tell from not just today, the wildflowers and the birds, but the 146 million year old bones and tracks and just the permanence of that. Definitely. It's I want to say haunt, but haunt sounds negative. It floats in my brain as I'm walking and hiking in Colorado. Yes. And I feel like without that knowledge, hiking and walking in Colorado is a different experience.
I completely agree, and I hope you guys agree at home, because next time everybody at home goes outside and wants to hike, whether it's in Morrison or somewhere else around Colorado, I hope that they take into heart that this was an incredible place, not just now, but years ago too.
And it's all right there for you to see.
All right there for you to see. And you guys can see it this weekend even more too, which is wonderful.
Let us help you understand it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. We always love it when you come here.
We love coming here and we love being enlightened. And Pedro, you did such a good job.
He
buddy.
says, thank you. I'm about the size of a baby Stegosaurus.
Yes, you are. And you keep that. You keep that and be proud of it, buddy.
Yes.
Thank you again, Mary.
All right.
All right, everybody. Again, you're going to want to come and enjoy Stegosaurus Day right here in Morrison this weekend. Now, Stegosaurus Day 2025 will be held at the Morrison Natural History Museum in Morrison, Colorado on Saturday, April 26th, and that's from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. So come out here and enjoy, and you can learn more about everything that they have to offer at morrisonco.us.